Hi, and welcome to BremSter Puzzles, a channel where I try and showcase the fun that could be had in the world of variant Sudoku. And today I'm doing that with a puzzle called psninn by psninn, P-S-N-I-N-N. I'm not sure of the pronunciation on that one. I'm not sure if I've done a puzzle by psninn before. But this was one that this was submitted a couple of months ago, and my testers have highly recommended. So I'm going to give this one a try. Let's just get straight into it. So we've got fill the digits 1 to 9 in each row, column, and box without repeating. So that's normal Sudoku rules. So yeah, into every box, into every row, and into every row and into every column, the digits 1 to 9, no repeats. And then we've got the psums rule. So a number n outside the grid means that for every 2 distinct cells in the corresponding row or column where positions sum to n, the digits in those cells sum to n as well. Okay, now there's an example given here. So let's say there was an 8 outside the clue. The example given is 5, 2, 7, 9, 1, 6, 3, 4, 8. Now it's saying an 8 on this one means that 8 equals digit 5 plus 3. So 5 plus 3. Oh, okay. So the fifth digit and the third digit is 1 and 7, which sums to 8. So similarly, the second and the sixth digit would need to sum to 8, and the first and the seventh. It's supposed to be a 5 there. The first and the seventh digit would need to sum to 8. It's 5, 2, 7, 9, 1, 6, 3, 4, 8. That wasn't valid Sudoku. So the first and the seventh digit, the second and the sixth digit, and the third and the fifth digit. The 4, you can't add 4 and 4 because it's 2 distinct digits. For every 2 distinct cells in the corresponding row or column where the positions sum to n. So position 1 plus position, so if this was an 8, position 1 plus position 7, 1 and 7 sums to 8, so those 2 digits need to sum to 8. 2 and 6 sum to 8, so 2 and 6 sum to 8. 3 and 5 sum to 8, so those 2 cells need to sum to 8. I get it. Okay, and the same is true in columns. This is a really interesting rule set. I'm going to restart the puzzle to restart my timer. Let's give this a shot. So the 4 is probably the most obvious place to start, because the only way to sum to 4 with 2 distinct cells is with 1 and 3, and the only way to sum to 4 with 2 distinct Sudoku digits, those have to be 1 and 3. I kind of want to jump to the 15, because the only way these have to, right, this has to be an 8, because the only way to sum to 15 with 2 distinct numbers in the Sudoku, and you can do it 2 different ways, 9 plus 6 and 8 plus 7. So so these 2 cells have to sum to 15, and those 2 cells have to sum to 15. But the only way to sum to 15 is with 9, 6, and 8, 7. So these are from 6, 7, 8, 9, because those 2 digits need to sum to 15, and those 2 digits need to sum to 15. But where can I can't put an 8 in any of those. So that's the 8. But those 2 are the ones that sum to 15. So this has to be the 7, and these have to be the 6, not the 7. I think you can understand that. So what I'm saying is 5 would need to go with position 10. 4 would need to go with position 11. That doesn't work. Position 6 will sum to 15 with position 9. Position 7 will sum to 15 with position 8. So those are the ones that had to sum to 15. Now, how can I sum to 15 in 2 cells? Well, it's the same combos. It's with 6, 9, and 8, 7. So these had to be from 6, 7, 8, 9. That had to be the 8, and the other half of that was there, so this had to be the 7, and these have to be the 6, 9. That's how to explain that a little bit better, I think. So what ones are done? Let's mark off which ones are done. The 4 is done, and the 15 is done. Let's look at the 14. How do we sum to 14? Well, it would be 9 and 5. That would be one set. It would then be 8 and 6. That would be a different set. You can't do 7 and 7, and you can't use 4 because then you would need 10. But these need to be those digits. They need to be 9, 5, and 8, 6. 8, 6. So these are a 5, 6, 8, 9 quadruple. I'm not seeing how to use that yet. I do know that 8 is up here, and it can't be here because this is 5, 6, 8, 9. So that can't be the 8. The 8 is in one of those 2. So do I want to jump to the 7 perhaps? Yeah, I think I do. Because let's look at this. 1 has to go with 6, so those two will go together. 2 has to go with 5, those two will go together, and 3 has to go with 4. So these have to be 1 through 6. If this was an 8 or a 9, then that digit would have to be negative. So this can't be an 8 or a 9. This is a 5 or a 6, which for the 7 means this, because 2 goes with 5, this is a 1 or a 2. But that affects this, because this cell is 6 plus 8. So a 5 here would mean this has to be a 9, and a 6 means this has to be an 8. This can't be a 5 or a 6. Those two cells go together. And these are, so this is a 7, 8, 9 triple, because I can't use a 7, 8 or a 9 in a 7 sum. These are a 7, 8, 9. That's not an 8, that's not a 7. So now do I want to look at the 13? Because a 13 could be 9 with 4, 8 with 5, 7 with 6. So I can never use a 1, 2, or 3. These have to be 1, 2, or 3, because I can never use 1, 2, 3 in a sum. Oh, this is weird. So, but I need to use 1, 2, 3. I've now got roping. This is very cool. I can't use 1, 2, 3 in a 13 sum. So I can't use position 1, 2, 3 in a 13 sum, and I can't use the digits 1, 2, 3 in a 13 sum. So these are 1, 2, 3. But I can't use 7, 8, 9 in a 7 sum. So where's 7, 8, 9 in this box? This can't be a 5 or a 6. Because if this was a 5 or a 6, well, basically, let's look at it this way. I'm going to get rid of this colouring for a bit. I am going to get rid of this colouring. So the 1, 2, 3 now, where does it go in this box? Well, it can't repeat in its column. If this was a 1, these are the digits 1, 2, and 3. It's a triple. So I can't put 1, 2, or 3 in those, and I can't put 1, 2, or 3 in those. This has to be 1, 2, and 3. So I don't need the colouring, actually. I can just do it with digits. These have to be 1, 2, and 3. So 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. These are 4, 5, and 6. So in this column, these are 7, 8, 9. These are now 1, 2, 3, because I can't put 1, 2, 3 in any of those. So these are 1, 2, 3. These are 4, 5, 6. And these now have to be 4, 5, 6 for the column. So these can't be 5, 6. These are 7, 8, 9. And if that's an 8, 9, this can't be an 8, 9 because those have to sum to 14. And if they were 8, 9, they'd sum to 17 instead. The roping in these columns is very cool. But that can't, no. This can't be a 4 or a 6. I think I just have to write a 5 straight into the middle of the grid, because those two digits need to sum to 10, those two digits need to sum to 10, those two digits need to sum to 10, and those two digits need to sum to 10. So this has to be the 5, because if I put the 5 anywhere else in the row, I'd need another digit next to, with it that sums to 10, and it'd have to be a 5, and I'd have two 5s in a row. I just have to put a 5 straight into the middle of the grid. And that's been there right since the start. I've been distracted by other things. It's fine. Everything's fine here now. Thank you. How are you? Okay, now, this is very cool. Okay, so 2 and 7 sum to 9. If that was a 9, then that would have to be a 0, because 2 and 7 sum to 9. So this has to be an 8, and this has to be a 1, meaning this isn't a 1. But if this is an 8, 8 and 6 sum to 14. So this has to be the 6. This has to be the 5. This has to be the 9. Taking 9 out of these. This is really, really cool. And that's the 14 done, because they're the only possible ways of making 14. 6 here, 2 and 5 make 7, makes this is the 1. Oh. Okay. I can never put in, so 9 can be done with 1, 8, 2, 7, 3, 6, or 4, 5. So I can't put 9 into any of those. This has to be the 9, making that the 8, meaning this isn't the 8. The 2 looks across, making this the 3, taking 3 out of all of those. I'm probably missing stuff everywhere, like this 10 clue. The position 4 and 6 sum to 10. So if this is a 1, this has to sum to 10 with the 1, so that becomes the 9. 8 is over here, and it's not here, and position 9 with position 1 or position 7 with position 3, one of those has to be the 2 to go with the 8. Okay. So let's look at the 11, I suppose. Because 1 can't be part of an 11 clue. 2 would go with 9. 3 would go with 8, 4 would go with 7, and 5 would go with 6. So this has to be the 1. I can never put a 1 in an 11 sum, but every other digit can go in 11 sum. So that is a 1, which means this is the 3 and this is the 1. There's no 1 here. Oh, the 1 makes that the 2 and that the 1. So these all have to pair up. So this one with this one. This is actually a little bit tricky to scan. Just knowing exactly where to look. 1 is in one of those two. It actually is a little tricky to scan. 2's not in any of those. Don't think that's where I'm looking. There's probably more roping going on. Yeah, this 8 makes this the 7 and this the 8. And these are part of the 13 sum. So position 4 goes with position 9. And if this is an 8, to get to 18, I need a 5 here. Because 8 and 5 sum to 13. There's no 5 here. A 7 here in position 6 needs to go with the 6 in position 7. The 2 positions are 6 and 7, and the 2 digits are 6 and 7, making this the 4. The 6 makes this the 9 and this the 6. The 9 looks back, making that the 7 and that the 9. This is a triple now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, and 8. There's no 8 there. This is a pair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Not sure what to do with that. I've got to put a 2 in one of those two, which does put 2 in one of those, but I don't need that, I don't think. So this is 1, 2, 3, or this is 2, 3, 4, or 5. Because it can't be 1, 6, 7, 8, or 9. So this is 2, 3, 4, or 5, and its partner is here, because 2 and 9. So if this is a 2, this is a 9. If this is a 3, this is an 8, so this can't be a 3, because I can't put an 8 there. If this is a 4, this is a 7. And if this is a 5, this is a 6, and that's not that helpful, I don't think. Okay. These are not part of the 13 sum. The 13 sum is done. I am completely done with the 13 sum. There's probably more roping or something going on that I'm just completely oblivious to. That digit matches up with that digit, and 1 matches up with that digit, because 1 and 8. So if this is a 7, this is a 2. If this is a 5, this is a 4. Those two digits sum up. 3 and 6 sum to 9. They can't be 1, 8. They can be 2, 7, 3, 6, or 4, 5. Not seeing a restriction there, and this is the same. So these have to sum 11. It's those, I need to look closer at the 11. It's those two digits, then it's those two digits, because 3 and 8. Then it's 4 and 7 sum to 11, and then it's 5 and 6 sum to 11. So these have to sum to 11, but 8 can't be here, because if 8 was here, it would need to go with a 3, and that doesn't work. So this is a 7, and 7 and 4 sum to 11, which makes this the 5 and this the 8. And now these need to sum to 7. So it's 5 and 2, making that the 3, and the 7 is done. I missed that. That's what I missed. Those summing 2. So there's no 4 here. So these have to sum to 11. Without a 4 there, this can't be a 7. This is a 6 or a 9. These sum to 11. If this is a 2, this would have to be a 9. And if this is 3, it'd have to be an 8, and it can't be. So this is 9, 2, which makes this 5, 6. And these are, well, the 8 in the row must be here, and 8 goes with 3. That 11 clue is beautiful. I just needed to figure out how it worked. The 2 takes 2 out of these. The 13 clue is done. The 11 clue is done. So the only clue I haven't done the 9 clue, but if this is a 3, 3 and 6 sum to 9. So that has to be 3 and 6, making that the 4 and that the 6. So these, I've got 2, 7 and 4, 5. So this is from 2, 7, 4, 5. 2, 7 in either order, or 4, 5 in that order. They're the only things I can see as possible. But these 2 digits, which are the 2nd and the 8th position, need to sum to 10. So if that's a 2, that's an 8. That doesn't work. So this can't be a 2. And that lines up with there having to sum to 9. So that can't be a 7. So this is either 4, 6, or 7, 3. It can't be a 6. So that's a 3. That's a 7, making that a 5. The 7 goes with a 2 because those 2 digits, 4 and 5, sum to 9. 5 and, or the 2 makes this a 4. Unfortunately, 1 and position 1 and position 8 sum to 9, but in 4 and 5 sum to 9. This is cool. So now these are 2, 4, 6, and 8. Well, there's no 6 over here. So this is 2 and 6. And this is 4 and 8. The 5 looks down saying no 5 there. The 9 clue is now done. This is not hard, but it really makes you think, which is what I love in a puzzle. Where's 1 in this column? It must be here. So these are 2, 4. And the 4 makes that the 2 and that the 4. This isn't an 8. What's this triple? 1, 2, 7. There's no 2 in either of the top ones. That's the 2. The 1, 7 makes this the 3 and this the 1. So these are pairs. 3, 7. The 3 looks up, making that the 7 and that the 3. This is 6 and 9. Not sure how to resolve that yet. Okay, something needs to break these open. So 1 is in one of those 2. 3, this is a 1, 3 pair, because I need to put 1 and 3 in this box, but the 1, 3 can't go in those. So this is 1, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are 5 and 9, and the 5 can't go there. So this is the 5, this is the 9. The 5 looks down, taking 5 out of there, but it makes that the 4, which is not part of a sum, but it makes that the 8 and that the 4, and they are part of a sum. The 8 in the 7th position, 7 and 3 sum to 10, so those are the positions that sum to 10, so the 8 has to go with the 2, making that the 6. And that is the 10 done, and all of the P sums are done. The 8 looks down, making that the 7, that the 8. The 7 looks up, making that the 1, that the 7. The 1 looks down, making that the 3 and that the 1. These are 1, 2. I need to put a 3 in, and it's not here. So this is the 3. This is the 6 that hasn't been placed. The 4 looks across, making this the 5. These are 2 and 4. The 2 is looking down, making that the 4 and that the 2. The 6 is looking up, making that the 9 and that the 6. And now I just need to fill out a single box. Even someone is... So even me can do that. The 7, 5, 7, and 9 are what's not placed. The 7 takes the 7 out of those, so this becomes the 7, and I'll use that 5 to make that the 9, that the 5, and that is the correct solution to P-sums. 114 solves in 166 days. I think this puzzle deserves more attention, so let's give it some. Really nice puzzle. Really good stuff. I'd not seen this constraint before. And I'm not sure how much further it could be taken. There are some constraints that are really, really clever, but they have a central piece of logic. And it's like, that's really cool, but there's not too much more to them. Someone would need to like really dig into it to see if there's actually more depth to them. I've done a few where it's like, oh, this is really interesting. And you try and look and see, is there anything deeper? And it's like, no, it's just good for one or two nice puzzles and then it's done. Yeah, but I really enjoyed this, and it's possible this has a lot more depth. I don't know. Kind of strikes me as something that would wear out quite quickly because the options would be quite limited. But I could be wrong. I mean, I would have said the same about Sandwich, and I was very wrong about that. This is very cool. I like it. I like this one a lot. The way that those cells work is very, very cool. I could see this being used as a really nice addition to some other outside constraints. I like this one. This is very, very good. I don't know if psninn or however it's pronounced came up with this one. If so, very, very cool. I like it a lot. Thanks everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed this one as much as I did. And as always, good luck with your solving.